Yo. Welcome back to Tremonte and Friends Boxing. Please like and subscribe to the channel, and we're going to get right into it. Jaron Ennis knocks out Uisma Lima in one round this past Saturday. If you've been watching my channel, you know I predicted a stoppage. Most people in the boxing community predicted a stoppage at some point. No one predicted a first round stoppage. That's impressive, regardless of how high you valued Lima as a legitimate opponent. He was ranked. My philosophy is you only fight who's put in front of you. But a first round knockout, or TKO, you could say, that's at his debut, that's a big statement for Jaron Ennis. That's a big statement. And then I like that he got out of his shell of his usual reserved persona. And at the end of the post-fight interview in the ring, he just named names. And we need to see that more in boxing, because we always hear or see people banter back and forth on social media about, well, I sent you the contract, you didn't sign the contract. But you don't see a lot of people get in the ring and call out opponents. You don't see that often. It happens sometimes. Most of the time after the fights, people will say, I have to get with my team and see, what happens. But he called out names because he's ready, and he's ready to show and prove. Jaron Ennis is basically in his prime. He's 28 years old. He's at a weight where he doesn't look drained like he did at 147. He looks healthy, and he's still carrying his power, even more so now. That I was impressed, man. For how long it lasted, But Ennis called out Baccarat. Obviously, Virgil, the fight, they say the fight is signed. Charlo, I don't know if Charlo's going to come back and fight. Fundora, anybody willing. But the thing with somebody like Boots is I don't know if these people are going to be willing to fight him. There's this notion in boxing that fighters aren't scared of other fighters. And I believe it for the most part. I don't believe somebody is terrified of fighting somebody else. Like, oh my God, they're going to beat me up. But I do believe sometimes the risk is greater than reward in some people's eyes. And I genuinely believe that there are some fighters that come along that as much ego as you want to have as a fighter and as much pride as you want to have as a boxer, deep in your heart, you probably feel like you can't beat them. That doesn't mean you're scared. It just means, like, if I really get in the ring with this person for 12 rounds, I don't know if I'm going to be able to beat them. Boots is big, man. He really can fight at 168. Yeah, I know he sparred with Canelo, and so he could really probably fight at 168. Or, definitely 160. A big 154. And there's nothing Lima could really do. In retrospect, people will say, oh, if you go watch Lima's fights, he was tailor-made for Boots, but you can't do that because there were some people predicting that Lima would upset Boots. There are some people predicting, like, it will go 12 rounds because Lima's tough, but when you in there with Jaron Ennis, talent-wise, he's a special talent. We all can see it. He's a special talent. He just has to have the resume to back it up. And at 154, you can get it if these people are willing to fight you. There are some people like Fedor, he will fight Boots. Fedor will fight Boots. Eddie Hearn said, and, take this with a grain of salt because it's Eddie Hearn. Eddie Hearn said Keith Thurman didn't want any parts of Boots. I believe it. Lubin will fight Boots. Virgil Ortiz will fight Boots. Baccarat will fight Boots. So you have like a good nest of names who will fight him. But when the time comes, because Boots, technically he isn't like a champion. He's the interim WBA champion. Are you willing to put it on the line to fight Boots and possibly lose? And we're going to see. We're going to see soon. 2026 is around the corner. I hope we get the Virgil Ortiz fight because that is the kind of biggest fight at 154 that you can make at the moment. I just early prediction, I got Boots beating Virgil. This was not the case a couple of years ago. A couple of years ago, I thought Virgil would beat Boots because Boots wasn't really fighting too many people, and they both were at 147. But as time has went on, I think Boots beats Virgil. But I'll get to that, if the fight is officially signed, if Virgil gets past Lubin, which is not an easy task. Shout out to Jaron Ennis. Shout out to Philly. Keep it up. He got to get back in the ring because he's like, man, he trained, you fought for a round, that was it. You got to get back in the ring, my boy. But enjoy your win because, it's seldom that people get 1-round knockouts as they move up in weight, especially with a loaded division like 154 pounds. So shout out to Boots again. Y'all let me know what y'all think of the fight. Who do y'all think would give Boots the most wreck at 154? Where do you see Boots topping out at weight-wise? I see him topping out at 168. He could easily go to 160, man. It's a big guy. And, the fight was good while it lasted. So we'll see what's up next for Jaron Boots Ennis. He has turned into a superstar. Tap in, subscribe to the channel, and I'll get with y'all soon. Peace.